Hello Black Salt Circle, and welcome back to another video. I am one of your guides. My name is Marjorie, and today we are going to be talking about the October full moon, which happens to be the Hunter's full moon. So this moon isn't actually dependent on the date that it falls on like most full moons are. Instead, this moon is dependent on when the harvest moon before it falls. So for this year, the harvest moon happened on the autumn equinox, which is September 23rd. So that means that this full moon is the hunter's moon. So the harvest moon can sometimes happen either at the end of September like it did this year, or it can happen at the end of October, which means that the hunter's moon can either happen at the end of October like it is this year, or the end of November. So the name Hunter's Moon is said to have originated in the 1700s when hunters would prepare for the winter months by going hunting. It's also a time that animals would begin to fatten up before the cold season. The earliest use of the term Hunter's Moon is cited in the Oxford English Dictionary, and it's from 710. But of course, the Hunter's Moon is not the only name for this moon. The others include the falling leaves moon from Ojibwe people, freezing moon from them as well, the ice moon from Haida, migrating moon from the Cree people, seed fall moon from the Celtic people, harvest month from Cherokee Native Americans, Haustmánuður from Norse, sanguine or blood moon from Neo-pagans, freeze begins on stream's edge from the Cheyenne Native Americans, whale moon from South Africa, kindly moon from the Chinese, big wind moon from Zuni Native Americans, someone stores food moon from Oneida, blackberry moon from Old English peoples, and last but not least is the moon when quilting and beading is done from Dakota Sioux. So just a little bit of information about this moon. So as we pass through the autumn equinox, the days start getting shorter and the days start getting longer. Temperatures also start cooling down, and there's an earthy scent in the air when leaves begin to change color and fall. All of these changes help turn our attention inside, away from the physical pursuits and sunny activities that happen in the summer, and then we turn that towards internal reflections. For many indigenous peoples, the wintertime was, and still is, the season for sitting around the fire where children learn from their elders. Many people experience autumn as a kind of spiritual New Year as well. For example, Jewish people celebrate the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, during the September new moon, and many of us celebrate Samhain at the end of October. The Hunter's Moon is focused on internal work and self-reflection. We're beginning the dark half of the year, so it's common to work to accept and welcome the darkness with open arms and spirit. The closer we get to Samhain, the thinner the veil gets, so this increases the ability to communicate with your ancestors or loved ones. It's also an opportunity for spiritual growth, goal setting, gratitude, and finding ways to slow down and just enjoy the autumn season. The fullness and brightness of the moon were also seen as nature's spotlight long ago, guiding hunters while also illuminating the mysteries of the universe. In some cultures, rituals and celebrations around this time were focused on paying respect to the animals being hunted, asking for the spirit world's blessing, and expressing gratitude for nature's resources. And since I know we have a lot of astrology-driven people, astrologically the hunter moon is in Taurus, which Taurus represents stability, persistence, and grounding. The synergy of the sun in Scorpio and the moon in Taurus can intensify emotions, urging a deeper dive into personal desires, values, and relationships. Since Taurus is an earth sign and is known for its grounding energies, people might feel an increased connection to the physical realm during this time. Even though full moons typically bring heightened emotions, Taurus's steadfast nature can provide a stabilizing effect. This effect makes it a great time for introspection and understanding one's emotional needs. This moon might also illuminate some areas of our lives where we're resisting change or holding on to things that no longer serve us, whether it's outdated beliefs, habits, or even relationships. Okay, so what are some correspondences? Some color correspondences are going to be ruby red, dark purple, black, burnt or dark orange, silver, navy blue, gold, and deep brown. Basically any of those really deep, rich colors. Some herbs are going to be calendula, marigold, angelica, burdock, pennyroyal, thyme, catnip, sage, rosemary, mugwort, pine, hibiscus, red rose, lotus, and passion fruit. I couldn't find many trees that were correspondences, but the two I did find were apple and yew. Some animal correspondences are deer, wolf, bear, owl, moth, and cat. Some crystals are going to be amethyst, black tourmaline, quartz, obsidian, moonstone, bloodstone, carnelian, beryl, opal, turquoise, amber, and jasper, specifically red jasper, but any jasper. Some deities that are really prominent during this time are Apollo, Anubis, Azrael, Cernunnos, Charon, Hades, Hecate, Hel, Hermes, Hern, Mercury, and Shiva. And then just because I think it's fun, some spiritual correspondences are gratitude, transitions, divination work, afterlife, shadow work, harvesting, preservation, dream work. And something I found interesting is called Pomps, I think is how you pronounce it. It comes from the Greek. It's a spirit, human, or being who guides souls who have recently crossed over. So, what are some things that you can do during this full moon? Well, first I have some altar ideas. You can put some small pumpkins on your altar. You can put some autumn leaves. You can gather some bones or skulls. One that I thought was kind of funny was Gothic candle holders because of Halloween and Samhain. Or you can just put some acorns, nuts, seeds, or any offerings to your deities. You could visit a local cemetery. You could bring some fresh flowers to place on graves you connect with while you're walking through, or who might need a little bit of love. And then I encourage you to read the headstones and really think about who they were and what they would have loved in their life. You can interact with the Fae, but always read up and do your research about how to safely interact with the Fae. You can practice protection magic. There are many ways to do this. You can do a protection spell like we are going to do in our ritual, which I'll talk about later. You can also do this with sigils, bind runes, just symbols, or sacred geometry and the pentagram. This is also a really good time to do a cord cutting. And you can also do divination work. So this can include scrying, casting bones, Norse rune casting, using a Ouija board. You can do smoke divination, Celtic Ogham casting. You can do egg cleanse reading and interpretation, tarot or oracle readings, work with pendulums, or even candle wax reading. It's also a great time to do shadow and ancestor and dream work. And obviously you want to do some deity work. You can also go on a moonlit hike or feast. I always recommend doing nature offerings, or you can just forage. So what is Black Salt Circle doing for this full moon? We are doing an amplification ritual that is led by core council member and designer Gabby. The purpose of this ritual is to amplify any magic or spell work that's being done inside the circle. So core council is going to cast the circle as usual, and then Gabby will lead the group through the ritual portion and then encourage members to do spell work while this ritual is going on. And there'll also be a time set aside to do individual spell work. We are also going to be doing a protection ritual during this time, one that we've done quite a few times actually, that is inspired by Hecate. So this ritual is going to be held on October 27th at 7 p.m. in Wagner Park, and I hope we see some of you there. Okay, that is all that I had for today. I want to thank you for watching, and we will see you later. Blessed be.